Om yogis, and welcome to a practice today with the leopard. Hopefully you guys can be in a room where perhaps you can close the blinds, turn the lights down low, and just kind of enter into the darkness a little bit today. The leopard is the embodiment really of transference. And transference really means just this journey of darkness for light, going through purification, going through difficulty in order to make space for more light to come into us, but also in order to understand more about our processes and be enlightened. So we're going into the dark with the leopard. I will just sit down, take a comfortable seat. And maybe you want to turn all the lights off, just for the experience. Come into your breath, you guys. Just watching the breath moving in, moving out. Changing states between inhalation and exhalation. As you inhale, feel the breath draw in through the nostrils and right down to the belly. As you exhale, the breath trampolines up to the soft palate like a rubber band. Feel the soft palate lift as you exhale. And then descend the breath again as you inhale. Ascend the breath as you exhale. If you're watching two opposing patterns of movement, as you inhale, breath goes down. As you exhale, breath moves up to the soft palate of the mouth. The mouth becomes spacious. The more breath we take in, the more the breath descends, the more it can ascend. So as you inhale, take the breath down very low into the body. And imagine that there is like a trampoline at end point, and as you exhale, breath ascends up into the umbrella of the soft palate. And you can start to tilt your hips to just accentuate this breath. So as you inhale, breath moves down. As you exhale, you feel the breath rising into the soft palate, and you're just rocking through the hips as you do this, just accentuating breath with movement, or movement with breath. Inhaling, breath moves down, belly expands. Exhaling, breath trampolines up into soft palate of mouth. Just watching yourself breathe and shifting between states, moving backwards and forwards with the hips. Taking in the breath as it goes down to the belly, and exhaling the breath as it travels up into the mouth. This is leopard magic, this ability to shift between states. Watch yourself as you move between in and out. Moving between up and down. And pulling in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. In order to take in new air, fresh air, we have to release the old. Decoding to recode. This is that leopard magic, that transference magic coming through. Take a look down now, you guys, at your right hand. And just bring your first two fingers to touch your third eye. And we're going to use the third finger to cover the left nostril and the thumb to cover right. We're going to inhale through the left nostril, covering the right nostril with thumb. And exhale through the right nostril. Inhale right. Exhale left. Feminine aspect, the moon, the lunar self. Inhale left. Exhale right, solar self, the masculine aspect, the sun. Inhale right. And exhale left. Just continue with this alternate nostril breathing as you touch your third eye center. This center between the eyebrows that deals with perception and command of self. There's no retention here, no holding the breath. Just commanding the shift of breath from left nostril to right nostril to left nostril. Again, watching yourself move between two states, two sides of yourself, the masculine and the feminine, the lunar, the solar, the internal, the external. The cool and the hot. The active and the still side of self, just watching yourself move between sides, between states. On your next breath out through your left nostril, just take your left foot out in front of you and place your right heel between your big toe and your first toe of the left foot. So it's almost like you're using your right foot like a flip-flop and just spreading the toe. It's the Achilles tendon actually that sits between the two toes on the left foot. And this might be plenty of stretch, plenty of sensation for you. If not, you can take the hands behind you and just lift the hips. Whatever feels good for your body. And then when you're ready, let's swap that over. Stretching out the toes. Beautiful. We're moving between states of, we're preparing for activity after this little section of sitting. So again, we're moving between states here. We're going to take the body onto the knees, sit back on your heels and make sure your toes, all of your toes are folded underneath you. So you're doing a kneeling toe stretch next. Just be there fully. And breathe. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, shift forward onto your hands and knees. And just start to move the body in cat-cow. Inhaling, chest lifts. Exhaling round through the spine. Another quality of the leopard is her decisiveness, or his decisiveness. There's no analysis paralysis with the leopard. I love that. Analysis paralysis. No overthinking. The leopard dissolves indecision and leaps fully into whatever state she wants to go into. So wherever it is that her life takes her, she leaps into it. No indecision between each state, no kind of dipping the toe in and going, oh no, I don't think I like that. It's just, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. No analysis paralysis. So without any fuss, let's take ourselves back now to downward facing dog. Bend one knee and then the other, stretching out here. If you want to, you can take this into a twist. If you want to, you can stay still. Make your decision and just stick to it. No analysis paralysis. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, just step to the top of the mat. On your next inhale, come halfway up. And as you exhale, fold in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do a round of Surya Namaskar. It's more traditional here. So inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold on in. I'm going to take the right leg back for a lunge. Inhale as you lift the chest. And hold the breath in plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Little baby cobra to begin with. Use the muscles in your back as opposed to pushing into your arms. And exhale, downward facing dog. No analysis paralysis. Dive into your breath. Dive into each shape that the body makes. Shape shifting. Bring your right foot forward. Let's lunge here. As you inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, bring both feet to the top of your mat. Fold on in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift your arms. Stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Then inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, take your left foot back. Inhale as you lift the chest, lunging here. And then hold the breath in plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing. Let's bring the left foot forward. As you inhale, open the chest. And as you exhale, bring both feet to top of mat and fold on in. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, now close your eyes, you guys. We'll go a bit slower, but we're going to do that same sequence with the eyes closed. Resist the temptation to peep or to peek. Be a decisive leopard here, now. No analysis paralysis. I will close my eyes and keep them closed. for sun salutation on each side. Let's inhale, lift the arms, just feeling the body now. And exhale, fold in. We're going to take the right leg back, you guys. Drop down onto the back knee, let the toes relax. And as you inhale, lift the heart, lunging here. If you need to take extra breaths, if I'm going too slowly or too fast for you, just adapt as necessary. And breathing in here. When you're ready, come back to plank and hold the breath. Knees, chest, chin, and the exhale takes you to the floor. Deep inhale brings you into cobra, still with the eyes closed, just feeling that tailbone dipping. And then exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're going to bring the right foot forward. And as you inhale, lift the heart. On your next exhale, come forward and fold to the top of your mat. And then a long inhale brings you to stand, still with the eyes closed. And hands to heart. Beautiful. Keep your eyes closed, just feel your feet against the floor. Let's inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, fold on in. Inhale, take your left foot back. And lift your chest, as you come into lunge position. My eyes were closed and I was drifting then. Come into plank. Hold the breath. And then knees, chest, chin takes you to the floor. Let's inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready, bring your left foot forward. And inhale as you lunge here. Exhale, come to top of the mat and fold on in. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Well done. Keep the eyes closed, you guys. Let's take a round of Surya Namaskar. A different, slightly different sequence now. Keep the eyes closed and just follow my voice. Let's inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, fold on in. Now inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, take both feet back to plank. Lower to the ground, chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. See, the leopard is not afraid of the darkness. The leopard just decides to go there. Overcome any fear, any need to peek. Put yourself embracing the darkness so that when you do open your eyes, you will appreciate the light. Let's bend both knees. Pretend that we're looking forward. And as you exhale, step or jump if you can, top of mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale all the way in. Let's inhale, come to stand. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Well done. Keeping the eyes closed, you guys. Keeping the eyes closed. Let's take Utkatasana. So bend the knees, chair pose as you inhale. And exhale, fold on in. Let's inhale halfway. Now exhale back to plank and chaturanga to the ground. Or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Fully embracing the darkness. And seeing what is in there, how this alters the practice. How much more internal that we can become through this process. Feel your way into this shape as opposed to looking at it. Look at it with that inner eye, your feeling sense. Then when you're ready, we're going to bring your right foot forward. Plant your left heel to the ground so your foot is down, and inhale up, warrior one. Keep your balance, keep your eyes closed if you can. Use your legs to support you. And then exhale, come down to your mat. Chaturanga, knees, chest and chin takes you to the ground. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time we're going to bring the left foot forward, plant the right foot down. Use your inhalation, use the strength of your legs to bring you up, warrior one. Look up if you can, with your eyes closed, and then a long exhale takes you back to the ground through chaturanga, knees, chest or chin, to the ground, and then inhale, cobra or up dog. Fully embracing the darkness, push back to downward facing dog. It's leopard quality, no analysis paralysis, just jump straight in, not afraid of the darkness. The leopard just decides to go there. Now we're going to bend the knees. Imagine that you're looking forward, and maybe you can just say, right, I'm going to jump to the top of the mat with my eyes closed and see what happens. No analysis paralysis. Decide whether you do or whether you don't. You might want to step, and that's fine. But just decide now, and then follow it through. Meet me at the top of your mat. Well done. Let's inhale halfway. And exhale, fold on in. Come into Utkatasana, bend your knees, chair pose. And then exhale, come to stand at the top of your mat. Beautiful, beautiful. Well done, you guys. Open your eyes. Feel the light flood in. Wow. Unless you're in a dark room. Standing at the top of the mat, we're going to inhale, take chair pose. And exhale, fold on in. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, back to chaturanga, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely. Let's take the right foot forward. Drop the back heel down, warrior one as you inhale. Slow exhale takes you down to the floor, chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward, right foot grounds. Inhale, warrior one. And exhale all the way down to the ground, chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. Let's bring your left foot forward, you guys. And turn to face the right side of your mat for Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. So take your legs more than hip width apart. And inhale halfway, exhale, fold on in. In part one, we spoke about the leopard's ability to shift between states and to be decisive in that. No analysis paralysis, no overthinking. The leopard dissolves indecision and leaps fully into whatever state presents itself. And the leopard is not afraid of the darkness. It would just as well go there as it would go to the light. So for this practice today, if you'd like, you can keep your eyes closed for the duration. Beautiful. And from Prasarita Padottanasana, let's just turn the body and come into a low lunge. Your left foot is leading. And it's your choice. Make your choice and stick to it. Your right knee can be either lifted or to the ground. And we're going to plant the right hand to the ground, twist towards your bent leg, which is your left leg, and reach your top arm. Just feeling all these different shapes that we make. We've just been doing this for 3 minutes and already there's, so many different shapes that we've made, so many different states that we've moved between. From this low lunge position, if this is okay on your knees, if any problem with your knees, please find your own good way there. We're going to come and sit back to Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is the half spinal twist. Bringing your left foot over your right knee. Inhaling here and twisting to the left. So your left foot is on top. Any problem with your knee, you can always extend your right leg straight. Breathing here. As you breathe here, just inhale the breath down to the base of the belly. And as you exhale, feel the breath trampoline back up to the roof of the mouth, the soft palate lifts. As the breath moves into the soft palate on the exhale, you can twist a little deeper, maybe. Take one more breath here. And then come back into low lunge with your left foot leading. And you can bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee or thigh and twist here. You can stay down with the back knee, or again you can raise the back knee if you like. Decide what you're going to do and follow through. No analysis paralysis. No second guessing yourself. If you decide to do less, congratulate yourself, stay with that. If you decide to do more, congratulate yourself, stay with that. No preference. Just go there. Beautiful. And then from there, let's come back to plank. Close the eyes. Feel yourself in plank with your eyes closed. Then come down, knees, chest, chin. Feel the difference in this pose as you do it in the dark. Then inhale, cobra or up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to bring your right foot forward now. Come into Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold, facing the left side of your mat now. So inhale, get long through the body, and exhale, fold on in. Just enjoy the stretch. The hands can be in any position that you like. So you might like to hook your toes, you might like to interlace your hands, keep them on your hips, bring them to the backs of your ankles or to the floor. Just decide what it is you're going to do and follow through. Stay with it. Don't dither. Breathe. Release the hinge of your jaw. Close your eyes if you'd like to. And then from here we're going to walk the hands back to the front of the mat. Your right foot is leading now. We're coming to a low lunge. Plant your left hand down and twist towards your right leg, reaching through the top arm. We do this with as little fuss as possible. The leopard is able to move in and out between states, unseen and unheard. So find your own way back to Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spinal twist. We're bringing your right leg over the left. Whether that left leg is bent or straight is up to you. And then we're twisting to the right. As we inhale, we feel the breath go down. As we exhale, the breath trampolines back up into the soft palate, creating a little more space in the belly for that twist. Allow yourself to shift fully into each state, to really go there, the inhalation and the exhalation. Release the hinge of your jaw, you guys. Close your eyes if you want to. And move as quietly and as decisively as possible back now into a low lunge. Your right foot is leading. And this means we bring the left elbow to the knee or the outside of the thigh for a twist here. You can stay down on the back knee or you can raise your back knee up. Make your choice and stay with it. This is what the leopard teaches us. No analysis, paralysis. No fear of the darkness. We decide to go there and we go there. Beautiful. When you're ready, come back to plank. Close your eyes. Come down, knees, chest, chin with your eyes closed. Then come into cobra. Use the muscles in your back to lift you as opposed to your hands. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's drop down into child's pose. And you can just bring your fingers to your third eye, or you can just take your third eye to your mat. Draw little circles on your third eye. Just massage the area between your eyebrows. This center that deals with perception and command of the self. We have that kind of command that says, we're going here and now we're going there. We're going this way, we're going that way. We're moving up, we're moving down. We're breathing left, we're breathing right. All of that stuff, we're commanding that. And this is the magic of the leopard, having this kind of command. Let's take the arms from child's pose over to the left for a side stretch here. You're reaching with your right arm and grounding down through your right hip as you stretch to the left. Breathing deep. No analysis, paralysis, we just dive straight in. Coming back to center when you're ready, and then taking that stretch over to the other side. Grinding down through the opposite hip, which I think is your left hip. Reaching up through left arm. Right to left, this way and that way, shifting between states in a decisive way, a masterful way. Then we'll come onto all fours, keep your knees above your hips and just melt your chest, walking your hands forward for a cat stretch. Coming back to all fours now, you guys. Push back, downward facing dog. Stretching out. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale here, and as you exhale, jump to sit at the top of your mat. Extend your legs forward. Let's inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms, and exhale, fall forward, Paschimottanasana. Breathe. Diving into each shape. Close your eyes. Let yourself dive deeper. Let's inhale here, look forward, exhale, coming out of that. Tip your weight forward and bring your legs back behind you so that you meet me in plank position. No dithering, just do it. And then exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra, close the eyes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend both knees, look forward, inhale. As you exhale, come to the top of your mat again to sit down. Your left leg is extended. We're going to come into Janushirasana A, so we're going to bring the right foot into left thigh. Inhale here and exhale, fold over your straight leg. As opposed to bringing your head down towards your legs, see if you can, without fuss, just shift your heart forward towards your toes. Beautiful. Let's inhale here. Look forward. Exhale. Slowly come out of that, keeping the feet in that position. We're going to take your right hand down behind your right thigh and just out a little bit. Lean into that arm, lean into that leg, push up onto that right knee, and then stretch through your left side. And you might want to try this a few times, just moving in between seated position, then rolling to the right, pushing yourself up and stretching long. It's very feline actually. Do one more like this. Beautiful. Take an inhale at center, and as you exhale, swap your legs. So we're bringing now the left foot into the thigh. As you inhale, lift the heart, and as you exhale, fold over the straight leg. Close your eyes. Just feeling. No analysis, paralysis. Stop thinking about it, just do it, just feel it. And if your head is dropping lazily towards your leg, command your gaze towards your toes, and then command your heart to follow your gaze. Just feel the difference between those two states. Beautiful. When you're ready, inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze, and as you exhale, come out of that. And we're going to rock. We're going to use the support of the left hand, rock over, so we're kind of lifting the right hip, coming onto the left leg and stretching up and over. Take a big inhale here, then come back to seated, and then inhale. Do this a few more times on your own, just moving between states. If this position is not good for you, decide not to do it and don't do it. You either do it or you don't. You have this kind of command over your yoga practice. No yoga teacher knows your body better than you do. I'm only an expert on one body in this world, and that's mine. Let's come back to center, you guys. Cross your legs, rock your weight forward, and then bring your legs back to plank position here. Take a breath in plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Excuse me. Beautiful. Let's bend the knees, look forward, inhale, and as you exhale, come to sit at the top of your mat again. Let's extend the right leg out. And we're just going to bring the left foot in at an angle so it looks a bit like pigeon, and hold your left calf like a little baby in towards your chest. So it's like your baby, you're sort of loving your leg like a baby. Your right foot leg, this is. Your foot may be in the crook of your elbow, or you may need to take both hands underneath your calf to achieve this position. Keep the foot flexed so you're protecting the knee joint here. Maybe you stay here. Just opening the hip, rocking backwards and forwards. Maybe you come into a half lotus here. Inhale, lift the heart, and exhale, fold forward. Maybe you can take the bind, which would be your right hand coming behind you and binding with your left foot. Or maybe you decide not to do that and you stay with your decision. No analysis paralysis. Inhale here, lift the heart. Exhale, come back to center, release the leg. Swap your legs over, so now your right leg is straight, your left leg is bent, and you're rocking your left lower leg like a little baby in whatever way works. Just releasing and opening that left hip. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you decide to stay here. Maybe you take the left leg into half lotus. You inhale, lifting the heart, and you exhale, fold forward. Maybe you take the bind, which would be your left arm. Yeah, coming around and holding your left toe. I'm getting analysis paralysis over my lefts and rights recently. trusting that you guys have the command of your body to know which side you're on if I get it wrong. Breathing here. When you're ready, inhale, lift your heart. And as you exhale, come out of that, cross your legs in front of you, rock forward, come back to plank. On your next exhale, lower to the ground through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, your choice. And then inhale, up dog or cobra, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stretch all that out. We're moving between states, and the movement between one state and another creates a kind of alchemy, really, that can shift our perception and expand our understanding. We don't learn anything if we stay still, yeah? So that's not staying downward facing dog. Let's bend both knees, look forward. Inhale here and exhale. Come to sit at the front of your mat. Beautiful. We're going to extend the left leg out. We're going to bring the right heel in towards the right hip, maybe just a little wide of the right hip. And then we're going to reach along towards the ceiling with the right arm. Take a breath in, lift the heart, and as you exhale, come forward. Maybe taking that arm around the leg for a bind. Maybe just taking the arms wide and folding here. Let your body decide what it wants to do and stay with that. No analysis paralysis. Breathe here. Then inhale, look forward. Exhale, release the bind gently, come on out. Swap the legs. So your right leg is extended, your left heel comes in towards your left hip. You inhale, get long, and you exhale, fold forward. Maybe take the bind here. Marichasana A. Again, command your gaze to look at your toes and command your heart to follow your gaze. Breathing and stretching. Lovely, that's inhale here. Exhale, release the hands, come on out of that. Cross the legs, shift the weight forward and shoot the legs back. Or bring the legs back to plank. Just breathe in plank for a moment, and then when you're ready, let's come to the floor through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Your next inhale takes you into cobra or up dog. And as you exhale, come down, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, you guys. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come to sit at the top of your mat. We're going to extend the left leg and bring your right foot in towards your left thigh. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, twist towards the right leg. You can take that foot across. So you can bring your right foot across your left leg if you like. And you can take the bind if you know it. The trick is to anchor into the ground through your straight leg. From that groundedness, you can start to extend the spine so that you can get the most out of this twist. Inhale, feel the breath go down, feel the restriction there, and as you exhale, feel it kind of trampoline back up into the soft palate, and you can twist a little deeper. Marichyasana C. Breathing. Close the eyes. Dive in. Leap into the darkness, into the sensation, into the depths. And inhale here. Exhale. Gently come on out of that. Swap your legs. I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So you're twisting towards your bent leg. You're anchoring through your straight leg. You may take the bind or you may not decide to take the bind. Whatever your decision, stay with it. No analysis, paralysis. This is what we're doing, so let's just do this. That leopard that is not afraid of darkness, it's the same as light. Both states are equal to the leopard. The leopard just decides to go there. Beautiful. Inhale here. Exhale. Release that. Release your legs. Cross your legs in. Rock your weight forward. Meet me in plank position. Close your eyes when you get to plank. Come down, knees, chest, chin. Dive in. Inhale, up dog or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's inhale, look forward, and maybe you can do this with your eyes closed now on this round. As we exhale, we're going to jump to sit and find Navasana or boat pose. Breathing here. As you breathe in, feel your breath moving into that engaged belly, so your belly won't swell here because your belly is on, but it'll move down just above the belly. And as you exhale, feel the breath in the soft palate, making the heart more buoyant, lifting the head, making the top half of the body a little lighter. Inhale here. As you exhale, rock forward and just lift your hips. Inhale here. Exhale back to boat. You can have your legs bent. You can hold the backs of your thighs if you like. You can straighten your legs. We're sitting on the backs of the sit bones. We're engaged through the belly. And we're hopeful through the gaze. We're looking at the feet again. We're looking forward to that exhale that will take us out of that. Plant the hands down as you inhale, lift the hips. And as you exhale, last boat, I promise. Breathe here. Dive in, and then when you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale, release that. Bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana. Knees go wide. You can hook your big toes if you like. You can inhale, lift the heart, and exhale, fold in a little for a few breaths. When you're ready, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, come back to center, keeping the legs where they are. Start to become aware again of that breath as you breathe in. Let the breath come all the way into the pelvis. Opening the groins, and as you breathe out, let the breath trampoline back up into the soft palate, bringing a lightness to the head, lightness to the heart. Feel as you inhale, the breath moves down, and as you exhale, the breath moves up. Just feel yourself commanding the shift between states. Your amazing ability really to command yourself to go there when you need to. Inhale, breath moves down. Exhale, breath moves up. We're sitting in Baddha Konasana. We're watching the breath move down as we inhale into the pelvis, and as we exhale, we're feeling the breath move up into soft palate. We're feeling the mouth like an umbrella lifting from the inside as we exhale. Breathing all the way down to end point. And as we exhale, the breath ascends. The principle is the more we descend, the more we can ascend. The deeper we go into our darkness, the more we can absorb the light. The more we can feel our own light. This is a quality of the leopard, this quality of transference. Darkness for life, light, death for rebirth. Inhaling for exhaling. Blah, 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 yakety schmackety. Let's move on. Let's extend your legs, you guys. And we're going to place the Achilles tendon of one of your ankles between the big toe and the next toe of the other foot, the opposite foot. So your Achilles tendon, you're basically sliding it between your toes like a flip-flop. And just enjoy that stretch. If you want a little more from that stretch, you can use your hands to lift your hips and place a little bit more weight into your flip-flop foot. Flip-flop foot. I'm commanding the words to come out. It's part of this leopard magic, is this ability to command. No analysis paralysis. You're just saying that's what we're doing and we're going to go there, and that's it. Let's swap the feet. Breathing here. It's kind of what I'm doing with these practices, really. It's just this feeling that I'm going to record it. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to dive in to wherever it takes me, whatever state it brings, knowing that I only ever go into the darkness to learn and to grow and to be enlightened. Okay, let's come forward onto all fours, you guys. Take a couple of cat-cows here. And just feeling yourself move between those two states of your spine moving one way and your spine moving the other way. Feel yourself commanding this shift inside of yourself. Close your eyes. Feel it a little more than you may have done before within the darkness. Breathing and opening. Taking your time. And then sit back onto your heels, you guys. Tuck all of your toes sort of underneath you so it's like you're wearing a high heel. Sorry, men, if you're not used to that bit. Neither am I, actually. Just tuck your toes under and stretch your toes here. And you can either sit back onto your heels, or if that's too much, you can just lean forward and press into the hands. And none of that analysis paralysis, none of this mind stuff that sort of says, oh, I don't like this. La 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 la. Just do it. It's good for you. Dive in. Close your eyes, feel it. And from here you can either sit on a block or you can just come to any comfortable seat. We're releasing the toes, sweet relief. And we're going to come back to Nadi Shodhana or Anuloma Viloma, alternate nostril breathing. So bringing your first two fingers to your third eye, using your thumb to cover your right nostril and your third finger to cover your left nostril, but you're really pressing into the third eye center here. We're going to breathe in through left nostril, covering right, and then hold both nostrils and retain the breath. Open up right nostril, breathe out right nostril. Breathe in right nostril. Close both nostrils, retain the breath. And here's the pattern. We're opening up, breathing out, breathing in, retain. Open up, breathe out, breathe in, retain. Now find your own rhythm with this. Open up, breathe out, breathe in, retain. It's all you need to know, you guys. And obviously swap sides as you go. And just breathe into, the comfortable capacity, retain the breath to a comfortable capacity, breathe out to a comfortable capacity. Don't particularly count the breaths today. We're just feeling ourselves shifting between states, between inhalation, retention, exhalation. Inhalation, retention, exhalation. And the retention relates to the third eye center. So as you retain your breath, push into your third eye center. Focus on your third eye center. Visualize a light between the eyebrows. Third eye center is this place where we can drop into infinity. The retention of the breath is connected to feelings of tranquility, the tranquil center between two states. So each time you retain the breath, feel tranquil, feel still, feel peace. And on your next exhalation through your left nostril, release your arms. Take a moment. Visualize your breath now as the infinity sign. It goes in and out one side, comes back to the retention in the middle, in and out the other side. Retention in the middle, out and in, retain, out and in, retain. You can feel that retention in the third eye center relates to that point in the middle. This is the crossover place that we can reach when we're brave enough to go between two states. We don't just keep ourselves stuck. We move this way, we move that way. We find this kind of still place in the middle from time to time. And it's like an influx of light and information and learning that comes through this practice of moving between two states. It's beautiful, really. Now grab your block, you guys. Come to your mat and come into supported bridge, placing the block underneath your sacrum. Feeling your breath. And as you just breathe naturally here, you can feel this kind of patterning in the breath that takes us between the state of inhalation and exhalation. There's actually a pause. As you get to end point of exhalation, there's a slight pause that you might feel more pronounced now. And as you reach the top of your inhalation, there's a natural pause there. So between inhalation and exhalation, there is a natural pause between states. We reach this kind of point of infinity, this place of peace between two states within the breath. And as you breathe here, you might want to allow yourself to fall a little deeper into the pauses between your breath. Close your eyes. Don't try to control your breath, but instead just notice. The feeling within the natural pauses and how this complements that feeling of releasing with the exhalation and absorbing with the inhalation. It's like inhale, absorb, pause, infinity, exhale, release, pause, infinity, creation, peace. And then the cycle begins again. Fall into the spaces in between, you guys. And feel how you shift from moment to moment, just within the cycles of breath. This leopard magic that lives inside of you, this ability to move from one state to another and then back again. Very beautiful, very powerful. Beautiful. And then from here, you can either stay in supported bridge if that feels really good for your body today, or you can raise one leg and then the other for a supported shoulder stand on the block. It's completely up to you. But what to do is make your decision and stick with it. Don't dither. This leopard magic, I love this. Decisive leopard. No analysis paralysis. So often we and ah, this way or that way, should I do this, should I do that? And we're wasting time. We never get anywhere. We miss so many opportunities to move between one state and another because we're just deciding, oh, do I want to be here? Do I want to be there? You know, and part of the magic of this practice today is just to kind of allow ourselves to play with just making a decision and doing it. No analysis paralysis, no fear of this or that, just jump in. Breathe deep, close your eyes, enter into the depths. This magic of the leopard. When you're ready, you can bring yourself out of that, lift yourself off the block, but don't come down too quickly. Stay up in bridge for a little while. Just use your legs to support you and then roll down through each section of your spine. When your pelvis hopefully won't hit the floor, when it meets the floor, just allow yourself a few little pelvic tilts to bring a little bit of fluidity to the lower back, a little bit of movement. There's always this sort of divine dance that we're all doing between enough stillness and enough movement. And we do need both. So allow yourself to move here, and then when you're ready, draw your knees up towards your chest. Gently does it. And just allow your knees to fall to the left now. Finally coming towards a little bit of stillness here. Because this is the thing, you guys. Each time that we practice, we're moving energy, so we're shifting. And these shifts might be so subtle that you've no idea what you're shifting or that you're even doing anything. I was told during, my training with this amazing lady once, she's compared a yoga practice to grains of rice in a set of scales. And she said each time you practice, no matter whether you perceive it a good practice or a bad practice, it doesn't matter what your perception is on it, it's still a grain of rice. And you pop that practice into the scales, into the scales, into the scales, and it might take time because it's subtle. It's subtle, it's delicate, it's slow. But one day, if you keep doing it, you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, the scales tip and you see the benefit. And this has 100% absolutely been my experience. Your energy shifts, your perception shifts, and you go, oh my God, I'm seeing everything in a different light. The body shifts, the physicality shifts, and things that were once difficult become easy. So know that you're moving energy each time you practice, so you are shifting your state. And know that this might be so subtle, you can't always see it. Let's inhale here. Exhale, bring the knees back to center. Take an inhale, center. And exhale, knees over to the other side. If we keep up our practices, we can absolutely, utterly, 100%, and will definitely shift our state. We will release old, outdated patterns held within the body so that we can embody more light, more joy, more freedom, more wisdom, more understanding. And this is what transference is. This is leopard magic. We're decoding to recode all of the time. And the leopard is so symbolic of transference because of its ability to do this efficiently and quickly without dithering, and to command this. Keep going, one state for another. Keep moving. So beautiful. When you're ready, take an inhale here. Exhale, bring the knees back to center. And you can hug the knees into the chest and you can roll side to side. You might even want to roll all the way to one side, open up through say if you're rolling to your right, you can open up left knee and left elbow and just allow the weight of your left side to take you over to your right. Open up right knee and elbow, allow right weight to take you over to left. I call this like dancey rolls. But just roll around on the floor. Come into Shavasana, you guys. We're nearly there. So take a few rolls to each side. And then when you're ready, let's take Happy Baby. So it's like your knees are bent, you're squatting. Looks like you're standing on the ceiling, feet face up. And you can hold the backs of your thighs, you can hold your feet, you can hold your toes. Inhaling and exhaling, decoding to recode. No analysis paralysis, no overthinking. We dissolve indecision with the leopard. We leap fully into each state. We place the weight of that in that set of scales, knowing that the balance will tip. It's kind of terrifying and exciting at the same time. But we take all of this really lightly, with this end pose of Happy Baby, knowing that this is actually a natural process. This is really what we're supposed to do. We block this shape-shifting capacity because, somewhere along the way we've learned to be frightened of change, be scared of the dark. That's why I say, if you do this practice a few times, over time, just turn all the lights off. Do this practice in the dead of night. It's very shamanic in that sense. You're learning to see in the dark, become accustomed to the dark again. Beautiful. From Happy Baby now, let's take the legs down. Set yourself up for Shavasana. Know that this practice is worth something. Every practice that you do is worth something. A grain of rice, not sand, a grain of rice. And it doesn't matter if you do a practice and you think it's awesome, or you do a practice and you think it's rubbish. The grain of rice is a grain of rice. Whatever perception we put on it, it's the same thing. So know that you've put an extra grain in your scales today as you've practiced. And this is all really that we have to do. Persistently practice. Patiently and diligently, as I've heard says, you are bound to be successful, and you are bound to be successful. So let yourself now relax in Shavasana. Really let yourself go. Really give yourself that gift, you guys. Dive into the darkness. And thank you so much for practicing with me today. It's been a joy. All my love and namaste.